Okay, so then let's move on to Picard. Now, I've not been watching this because I have been holding off until the series is finished to see whether it's worth watching or not. I hope it
You've not been
end.
watching it because you're playing Star Wars Lego like a 6-year-old.
Wow.
No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Fired.
He's not wrong. I have been. What's worse is, no, I've been getting angry at Star Wars Lego like a 6-year-old. That's the
Throwing
problem.
tantrums.
Yeah, you know, somebody help me.
Play Jedi Fallen Order like a 12-year-old, goddammit.
So, Picard, how is Picard going at the moment? You guys have been keeping up to date with it, haven't you?
You want to go, Yoda?
I've been doing the reviews on it. Have you read any of those, or are you keeping yourself pure there, Phil?
Who, me? Oh, Phil.
No, Phil.
I've been keeping myself off them because, like I say, I'm kind of not avoiding it, but I'm just, like I say, waiting to see whether the series is then going to be worth starting if it's got a good finish. So I haven't really sort of read much about them.
Okay. Because I'm trying to decide how many spoilers I need to go into.
Oh, no. Don't panic too much like that.
No. I mean, based on that, all of them. I need to go into all of them.
La, 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 la.
I mean, Aggie and I have had a couple of videos, and we have 3 of them now, that we've had some very long, ridiculously overlong discussions about Strange New Worlds, Discovery, and especially Picard season 1 and 2, which I think it's safe to say we hated all of it. Mm-hmm. We were very hard on it, and I think if you want to watch those, they're on the site, but they're.
I was just going to say, Picard season 1. I think I got through 1 episode and just no interest after that. And
so I didn't have a lot of high hopes going into season 3. And Akiva Goldsman and who's the asshole that runs all this?
Kurtzman, yeah.
They've kind of like given up on Picard because they want to do Strange New Worlds and whatever. And I think Paramount has just about had enough of Kurtzman and his bullshit. So I don't know what's going to happen with Star Trek going forward. But they kind of handed it off to this guy who had done 12 Monkeys as a showrunner and a couple of other things. His name is Terry Matalas. And said, it's the last season. Whatever, do whatever you want. That's my guess. So he worked on Enterprise, and Matalas seems to really understand Star Trek. And he has put together a banger of a season that I would put above any of the Next Generation movies, and really giving us a good send-off, with the caveat we got 4 more episodes to go. We'll see. But he's kind of teasing us with all of them coming together, and he's coming close. They're all going to come together in the end somehow. And he's done a really good job. And he's admitted, he's like, I want to give fan service, but I don't want to do member berries. I'm not quoting him exactly, but he's like, where do I stop and start with the fan service? Because I'm a Star Trek fan too. In this last episode, they went to the Fleet Museum, which makes sense that all these ships would be there at the Fleet Museum, because why wouldn't they be? Famous ships, just like at the Smithsonian, we have the Spirit of St. Louis and things like that. And they had the USS New Jersey, which looked exactly like a TOS Enterprise. It was that same model, which I found interesting because in Strange New Worlds, they have a TOS, even slightly pre-TOS era Enterprise that is much modern looking. It's nice looking. I don't hate it, but it's not the way those ships of the era looked. So by putting it in there, the way the ships of that era looked, is he basically giving a big FU to Kurtzman and everybody else? Because it feels like it to me. And then we see Kirk's Enterprise, NCC 1701A. We see the Defiant. We see the Voyager. And there's a nice moment with Seven because, that was her show. And all of this stuff, and then they show the Klingon ship from Star Trek IV, the Bounty. And that gives them the idea, because they're getting chased by all these Starfleet people because they've linked all the ships together, which now I'm beginning to think is probably part of the Dominion's plan, or the shapeshifters' plan to take over the Federation and cripple. Because if they're all linked together, then you could cripple them all at the same time, is what I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And so they say, hey, here's a good way for us to not be found by the other ships. We'll steal the cloaking device off the Bounty and put it on the Titan. So, yeah, you had all these member berries, but there was a reason. There was a story reason for the member berries.
Yeah.
And that's pretty clever to me. I got to have all these nice little warm nostalgic moments, but it wasn't for the sake of having warm nostalgic moments. It had a story reason and a plot reason. And so I really appreciate, and I'm just using that as an example. I think Metalis has done a very good job of doing that kind of stuff. They brought back an old character last week. There was a very good reason why she was there. Didn't expect it. It was the best emotional moment of the season that was story driven. Whereas I said in the article, I said what happened last week was emotionally created by the story. What happened this week was emotionally created by more nostalgia. But for a plot point, it still works. And there's a difference between those two emotions, right? When you're getting emotionally driven by the story, you're into the now, you're into the moment, you're into what they're trying to do. You're not being manipulated for cheap reasons. When you're just throwing in, remember the Enterprise, remember this Millennium Falcon, when you're putting that stuff in there, you're being manipulated just to get your butt in the seat. But there's no lasting, there's nothing that sits with you from the story that they're trying to tell. The Force Awakens is a primary example of that, right? It's basically a retelling of Star Wars with a lot of member berries, but in the end, do you really have that fond of feelings for The Force Awakens? Do you find yourself wanting to go back and revisit that movie on its own merits? No. This season, I would revisit again on its own merits. And in fact, I've watched the episodes multiple times. I'm just enjoying it that much. And I never thought I'd say that about Star Trek again.
I'm more reserved than you in this one. I didn't like the first few episodes. I thought that was okay. I really enjoyed the one with Ro. I think that was the episode that I was like, actually, this is going somewhere now. And then I've got to disagree, mate. I thought this one was just full of member berries. We had the Genesis. We had, I'm going to spoil something for you, Phil, but we had,
that's right, go on.
For some reason, Kirk's body.
I don't disagree on
Moriarty. We had all those ships. And I was thinking,
they went too far. They went too far in the Daystrom station. But not in
Operation
the Fleet
Phoenix.
Museum was great. The Fleet Museum was great. The stuff in the Daystrom station was kind of, why do you have a Genesis device in there? Why do you? Oh, this is where Section 31 keeps all this stuff. It's like, why would they keep dead captains' bodies? I don't get it. But they stole.
Is he frozen like Austin Powers?
No, you just see a computer screen, Phil, with like a skeleton, like an X-ray scan. So you don't actually see his body, but you know it's in this chamber, whether it's frozen or. So you just, and it comes up with Kirk, and it's got Operation Phoenix or something. So obviously Phoenix rising from the ashes, and then you got Moriarty, and then you got the whistling with Data, and the crow.
That was okay.
Genesis
that
chamber.
Was okay.
Oh,
no,
and
so
then bloody Raffi as well. I can't watch that woman. I enjoyed it, but I was a little bit like, oh, come on. I thought we weren't doing this much member. I don't mind a member berry, but this was like a whole big bunch of grapes. This was full of them.
Maybe they all got it done in one episode. They put it all together in one episode, then they'll move on. Because it hasn't been that many member berries up till now. It really hasn't.
There's not been that many, but my concern is that I'm personally trying not to get too wrapped up in it, because I just think the bar is so low with Star Trek at the moment. I just think this is so much better than anything out there. But I'm questioning myself and thinking, am I enjoying this because it's good, or am I enjoying it because everything else is so shit?
That's do you know
where I am with
what? I
it
mean,
at the moment.
not going, not obviously watched any of the Star Trek stuff because I've just, like I say, I've had no kind of interest in it the way it is. But I'm the same as you. This afternoon I sat down and watched something, and I went through a list of all new movies that are out, and I was like, nope. I ended up watching Poltergeist 2 because I haven't seen it forever, and it was just kind of that to me was the most interesting thing to watch because all the new stuff, it's just nothing out there that comes out. Every now and then a movie pops up, and I think, like John Wick 4, for example, I might go to the cinema and see that because I do fancy it, and I'm quite looking forward to it when it eventually gets onto streaming and stuff. And now and then something pops up, but most of the stuff it's so crap that when you actually find something which is even half decent, it's still bad, but it's half decent. It's so much better than the crap that you're wading through.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad. I didn't enjoy the first. What episode is this show? Is this 5?
5 or 6 or something.
6.
I didn't enjoy the first few episodes. I thought Picard was still a bit of a meek, bumbling old man, but I like the fact that he has actually grown to he's becoming more like the Picard that we knew before. He's a bit more authoritative, a little bit more sure of himself. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it, and I'm enjoying it. The ships are still too dark. It still pisses me off.
Yeah, that's we're not going to get away from that.
No,
cinema looking. That's never going to go away. You're never going to get that even TV lighting that you had before.
No.
And I don't know. I can live with that if the story is good, and the story has been very good. And I find myself thinking about it randomly. I find myself really anticipating, wanting to see where the story goes, and I don't feel like it's manufactured in my mind because everything else has been shit at this point. I don't find myself trying to make excuses for it like I have in the past when I did with Star Wars to a certain extent, and before you finally have to accept the sequels are crap. And that kind of stuff, or even the prequels. I think there was a time when you were trying to talk yourself into this, but there was a bit of, oh boy, what you always in the back of your mind. Is this what's going? Are they going to fuck up, or what's this going to be? Oh, God, I got to figure out how to make this work and really want to love it because I love.
Like I say, that's what I get with some series that I kind of don't want to start them because I just think they're going to finish badly, and then it's just a waste of time. Willow was one. I got halfway through the first episode and just thought, nope, this is not worth the investment. I
knew that weren't worth watching anyway.
Yeah,
I think there's more to this. There's more to this Riker scenario.
Yeah, he's been
that article that I shared with you, but I think there's more to that. And
he's been best as a character almost ever because I feel like sometimes in the original series they didn't know what to do with him exactly. He had some good episodes here and there, but as far as like Worf had great character arc all the way through it. Data had great character arc all the way through it. Picard, of course, did. The Doctor was the Doctor till the end. That was pretty much her thing. Deanna, maybe some minor character arc here and there. Her becoming a commander was kind of interesting and putting on the suit. Mm-hmm. But, most of Riker just didn't grow that much as a character. He didn't, they in the movies, it was always have to give him something to do. So this show has finally given Riker a chance to have an arc and to have something more going on than to just be the Captain Kirk stand-in in case Patrick Stewart decided to duck out of the series. Mm-hmm. And I like Best of Both Worlds was really great for his character, but beyond that, you really have to struggle to find something that really made Riker deeper. And with Worf, it's easy. You can say, okay, well, there was the stuff with the Klingons, it's discommodation, and the Klingon Civil War. And then he was so interesting, they brought him into DS9, and they did even more with him after that. Data's constant trying to become human and always, hit that kind of thing going on. But yeah, they never did enough with Riker, and now they have, and I think it's great.
Yeah, but that's what makes me concerned. Because they're doing something with Riker, and I just hope they don't. We don't see him. He's a changeling or something ridiculous like that, or it wasn't the real Will Riker. That's my concern because He is becoming the hero of the show.
Riker is the robot, right? Sorry.
No, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Metalis is trying to do something with that whole idea. And he's not running away from it, but he's trying to do something to improve it. And I mean, I give him credit for trying. Whether it works or not, it's still to be seen. Because they're trying to get away from the whole he's just a robot by saying that it's more human than synthetic, but it's not completely human, and there's more to it than that. It's not just an android like Data where you can just take off his parts like Legos. They age, and there's more organics and stuff in there. He's handed this shit sandwich, so you can either do nothing with it, and if you do nothing with it, then even after this season, you will always have that in your mind. I loved, The Next Generation, but now Picard's a robot, I thought season 3 was great, but they never addressed that he's a robot. Now he's a robot. And that will always stick in your craw. Or he can swing for the fences and try to do something with it that maybe makes it a little bit more palatable. So I think that's his idea. He's trying to do something with it that makes it better than just the nonsense that ended the first season, right?
Yeah, hats off to him. It's definitely a step in the right direction. I'm still not completely on board yet. I'm still a little bit probably scared to get too invested, to let my guard down too much. But we've got 4 episodes, and it's going in the right direction.
I've been hurt before.
That is how I feel, though. I was so utterly disgusted with seasons 1 and 2. You kicked in the nuts twice, and then you're standing there opposite the person who's now got an extra big pair of boots on. It's like, no, I'm definitely not going to do it for a third time. So I'm a little bit shielded.
I promise.
But it is, and it's nice. There's no lesbian and gay agenda. That thing with Raffi and Seven was very straight to the point.
Understated.
Yeah.
Very understated. I loved it.
How it should be. Yeah, it should be.
They just said, "How you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay too. Well, it's good to see you." And then they move on. I thought it was really hilarious when Raffi and Worf and Riker are about to go down to the station, and Seven is seeing him off, and he thinks she's going down with him. It's like, I have gone into battle with many lovers and everything. She goes, "I'm not going." He's like, "Oh, thank God, I was practicing deceit."
He's brilliant. Setling just said he's been petitioning Paramount for a Captain Worf series. I'd watch the shit out of that, as long as Raffi's not in it.
I gotta admit, the thing with Raffi now, Raffi has so much baggage from the last 2 seasons that I can understand your frustration with her, and you come by all your skepticism completely honestly. I get it, but the thing that I like about this is pairing her up with Worf and not treating all her. They treated her, like all her whining and everything, like a positive in the first 2 seasons. And here they're treating it as a negative. And that makes her more interesting to me because now she's getting knocked down here and there. I love the scene where she was fighting Worf like a they were sparring, and it looks like, I thought, oh God, she's going to knock him down and show how girl boss she is. And she keeps not getting there, and finally she's going at him, like really going at him, and he's like Neo in the Matrix, just he's doing this basically, and then just knocks her ass down. Like, you gotta stop fucking acting like this. I was like, that was great, that was awesome, because now she got knocked down a peg, and she's learning that she doesn't know every fucking thing, and that's what I could deal with. A character who's a mess if it's treated as a negative, and their arc is that they overcome all that. That's what everybody wants to see, right?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So when he did that, I was like, that was Metalis is saying, we know Raffi's got a long ways to go. She needs to be knocked on her ass, and that's exactly what happened. And good for them. Great.
Yeah. Phil, I've got to apologise. You look about to fall asleep. Me and Yoda have gone on to one of our little Star Trek talking points.
No, I was playing Doom online.
You're researching how to solve that Lego Star Wars problem you've been on all day.
No, I'm trying to figure out. I installed ad blocker on my computer, and all the hot mums in my area seem to have moved away. So
I think that he was absolutely riveted by my conversation and explanation here.
Yoda, we'll have to we'll schedule
up for best actor award is Phil from the last movie Outpost, showing his interest, feigning his interest in Yoda's description of Picard.
Let's schedule one in, Yoda. We've got 4 episodes left to go. Let's get one.
Yeah,
in.
we'll do it after it's over. We'll just go through each episode that we have, then just kind of go through.
Are you saying though at the moment it's kind of worth giving a go, that third series?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's worth a go.
It's proper good evolution of Star Trek, and I'm really I'm picking up all this shit from you too.
I think I might. Thanks and like and subscribe. What I might do is put it on my watch list at least, and just sort of slowly go through them and hope they don't crap in the bed at the end of it.
Were you a Trek fan
left,
in general?
Hang on, what?
Phil,
There was
were you
two
a
questions
Trek?
there.
I was to say, are you a Trek fan in general? Were you at the deck?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, with I still remember going to see, I think it was a motion picture and then up to 4 in the cinema, our local cinema, when 4 came out, and they had all 4, on a Sunday, and me and my mate went to see him and stuff. I think we did it with 5 as well. And so, yeah, I've always liked the original series, and I've always liked the original cast. I can't say I was massive on Next Gen, and I know my dad used to love Deep Space Nine, but I kind of never really got into it. But the new Star Trek, I've always just been wary because of it's modern, and just everything modern at the moment just seems to be crap because it's just made by these morons who are trying to give us the message and stuff. So I just stayed away from it. But I mean, you guys have said it. I know the Critical Drinker has mentioned it as well, that the series is actually quite decent, because I think he's seen the entire series. He got sent the entire series to watch. And so
Dave Cullen saw it, and they've been very high on it. And Metalis even came on one of their live streams. I listened to him talk to Drinker and Robert Meyer Burnett and everything. And these are guys that have Burnett's worked on the original Star Trek and or Next Gen. I mean, and he was
that sold it for me though. Picard season 3. You won't throw a rock at the through the TV for the most part.
No, I honestly
give it a go.
it's damning with faint praise. I honestly think it's actually very good television and very good Star Trek, and I've not been shy about my disdain for everything since 2009. So I mean, with it, it's like with anything with me. If it's a decent story to it, I'm happy. It doesn't matter what it is. And so, like I say, I've always liked the characters, in the Star Trek and stuff. And like I say, I've never gone massive on the Next Gen, but I've, the episodes I have sat down and watched, I've always enjoyed. And so, yeah, like I say, I'll have to put it on the watch list and just sort of not plow through them, because that's not the right word, but, just sort of sit down and watch them and give them a go and see what they're like.
Well, there's 4 left. Just wait for the 4 to finish, and then you got the whole set. And then we'll tell you whether it's yes or no. So far, it's yes.
Okay. We'll have to have a look.
Thank you for watching this excerpt from Outpost Frequencies. Tune in live every Sunday at noon Central Time or 6 o'clock UK time. And also, remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com for all your latest in movie news, streaming news, and everything cool about film. We are the cool news now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream.